I am so honored to be here. I was happy when Tasha asked me to come and speak at the reentry conference because I have dedicated so much of me to working toward successful reentry for individuals. Once again, my name is Chantell Jewell. I am the Superintendent of the House of Correction. I am the first Black female to sit in that role. So one thing that I informed my staff of when I started is that we're not doing business as usual. The mere fact that I hold that position means that somebody wanted some change. So I thank County Executive David Crowley for appointing me to this position. Milwaukee County has a bold vision that by achieving racial equity, we can become the healthiest county in the state of Wisconsin. So what does that mean for the House of Correction and reentry? Because we really cannot have that conversation without talking about the needs of our incarcerated population and the needs of individuals returning to the community. Why is reentry important? I have witnessed the devastating impacts of incarceration, the mass incarceration of Black men, to be specific, in our community. We oftentimes talk about the fiscal cost of incarceration, but it does not come without a social cost that we cannot continue to ignore. As the superintendent, when I look at the population of individuals in the facility that I manage, I approach the job with a different set of urgency. You see, when I look out there, I see a brother, a son, a father, a husband, an uncle, a cousin, way overrepresented in this system. So my vision is that by allowing justice-involved individuals to thrive, by building upon their strengths and creating real opportunities that support change, not the illusion of an opportunity, but a real opportunity so that people can change, have real viable opportunities not to reengage the justice system. I'm not above and I'm not scared to challenge the status quo of corrections. I've already retired once. So for those of you that don't know, I retired from the Department of Corrections in 2016. So I have an intimate knowledge of the system. Beginning my career with the youth at Ethan Allen Boys School, on to probation and parole, becoming a field supervisor in corrections. And then I got a chance to leave and look at this system from the outside through my work as the reentry manager at Employ Milwaukee. And there I really got to observe the interaction between systems and how sometimes we think we're doing what's right, we think we're doing what's best by telling people what they need and how they need without even having them become a part of the conversation. And that's something that I stopped. That's something that I always challenge my colleagues on. We have to have people who have been impacted become part of the conversation. It's not okay for us to tell people what they need without giving them representation or letting them have a voice. And so that's kind of how I operate. And so then I got another opportunity to work with the youth in the youth justice system at the Division of Youth and Family Services, bringing our babies home from Lincoln Hills. They need to be here with us, not 5 hours away. And so I live in Milwaukee. I live in 53216. So I've seen this thing. I've seen the impacts of incarceration. I've experienced it through the system, in my neighborhood. So I think I have a unique perspective. I bring a unique perspective to the table when we talk about reentry and corrections and really understanding what people need. One of the reasons I left corrections is because it stopped making sense to me. It's like I put somebody in jail, and then I let them out, put them in jail again, I let them out, they lose everything. And it was just like a revolving door, and I knew that I could do more. So I'm thankful to the county exec for allowing me to serve as the superintendent and giving me the authority to run that facility through the lens that I look through. And so we know that merely interrupting criminal behavior and locking someone up just don't work. There has to be more. I know at the House of Correction that I only have individuals for a short period of time. So our goal is we really embrace the no wrong door philosophy and feel like the House of Correction is just another door that individuals come through where they need resources and support. And so that's what we're going to give them. The real work really happens in the community though. And so we're working on engaging support system, creating intentional partnerships so that people have support when they leave. Our core values at the House of Correction are humanity. We treat everyone with dignity and respect, which is why the language changed. And some people were in an uproar that how dare I come in and forbid them to call somebody an inmate or an offender. Well, first of all, they told me that I was the superintendent and I could do that. So I used my authority to do it. Because the second core value is integrity, because it was the right thing to do. We cannot diminish people to a past mistake or a past behavior. And so we are creating an atmosphere of mutual respect. We are modeling the behavior that we expect the individuals in our care. We have an expectation of them, so they should also have an expectation of us. Security. There's an expectation when people get to the House of Correction that they're safe. And so I want to make sure that we are vigilant and we are providing a safe and secure environment, not only for staff, but the people in our care. Competency. This is more than a job. This is more than somebody sitting in a dormitory watching some individuals. We are to be competent in our duties and strive to do our work in excellence. And community, it's all about engaging our community partners. Again, people are only with us a short period of time, and so we want to stop that revolving door, so we have to make sure we're connected to individuals in the community. Some of the things that I've done since during my tenure at the House of Correction, we actually received our NCCHC accreditation. That is the accreditation from the National Commission on Correctional Healthcare. That's the gold standard of healthcare. We invited this NCCHN to evaluate us because it's important to me that individuals receive quality health care while they're in the facility. We've applied for funding to do a pilot where I'm going to open up a family engagement center. There will be face-to-face visits with parents, their children, and the non-incarcerated parents. From my experience in the justice system, we have a body of evidence that tells us things that reduce recidivism. One of them is family distress. But I think we spend the least amount of resources on family distress. So I really want to amplify that family piece while I'm the superintendent at the House of Correction. We are currently working on a pilot with Marquette where they will bring actual students from Marquette and hold class at the House of Correction with some of our residents. So I'm excited about that. We're working with Chase Bank on providing financial literacy and creating individual financial plans for individuals upon release. I've added a social work position to work on developing reentry plans. I have brought over a housing navigator. I was at a All of Us or None conference and I kept hearing that housing is an issue. I responded. I'm funding a housing navigator from the Department of Health and Human Services to be at the House of Correction. We've also opened up a dormitory called our Resident Support Unit for individuals who have some mental health challenges, and being in general population is difficult for them. And so all staff there, I have 25 staff trained in crisis intervention. We have more of a mental health presence on that, in that dorm. And so we're doing a lot of great things. I've opened my door to credible messengers, where historically they were kept out. Individuals who had the lived experience. I was like, but you guys bring more of the credibility than me to the table. So we all have our sphere of influence, and I want to do what makes a difference versus just doing something to just do something. So last thing I'd like to say is it's just important that to provide opportunities that support change so that we can reduce the number of individuals coming in and out of jails and prisons. Thank you.